Matter today, first shots with the Fusion Firearms XF Pro. Got 15 rounds, very first magazine. Slides a bit heavy. Dot's not sighted first shots, just mounted the dot. Reset is short. First rounds, first mag, XF Pro, ran flawlessly. Alright guys, we're back. 147, it's the Subsonic MagTech flat nose, regular S&B FMJ 115. I don't know if I said 147. So, let's see if, let's just start with the regular cellular and bellet, okay? No trouble. No issue at all. If you do drive the mag home, it will launch the slide forward. That is common with some guns. Like some of my Shadow systems used to always do that. A little bit of a rapid ejection pattern on these flat nose. We're gonna run the last of these with the XF Pro here at 10 yards. All right. We are in. And chambered. I might have to cut this, guys, because I want to fit it on a clip here for 60 seconds. Let's see if it runs. 50 rounds, KCI. Didn't get locked back, but she ran them all. I wasn't expecting here today with the XF Pro. Still working on the first impression. I put some shots through it with the stock barrel. You see here, I got picked up the ported barrel right here. And from the factory, from Fusion, they come with actually 4 ports, and they actually get smaller as it tapers down the barrel. So you can tell right here how they get a little smaller. So they're not all the same size. Anyways, so far through all the testing I've done, this gun has been reliable so far as I'm working on this first impression. But I figured before I put out the first impression, because these barrels are not super expensive and they come with 4 ports, I figure I'd drop the ported barrel in and give you guys a look and see if it runs as reliable so far with the ported as it did with the stock non-ported barrel. We're at about 8 yards here. This is the first shots of the day. So let's see what happens here. See if she runs. Oh, wow. Holy hell. Wow. Oh. That is soft. That is really soft. You can see I'm shooting a little bit low here. Right there. Shooting a little bit low to the right there, but wow, that is a considerable difference. Wow. Let's aim a little higher on this dot here. I think it's the 147s. I mean, on the top here. So I'm getting failures to feed. Their nose, you can see right here, this is the same malfunction. Let's drop that one out. I did not have any of these malfunctions with the other barrel. Now obviously they each have their own feeding ramp, and this is mixed, so it is going from the 147s, and it's actually jamming on the S&B. We have a failure to eject. Okay. We're back here. We had a couple malfunctions. I just had a failure to extract. These are the KCI factory mags. I didn't have any malfunction with the stock barrel. So let's continue here. I wish I would have brought the non-ported barrel so I could pop it in and see if we still have some of these malfunctions. Yeah, so before I was able to smack it in. So it really is, for the most part, is the same malfunction right here. And it's not even once in a while. It's almost constant. Well, not constant, but it's too frequent. Let me see if I know where my phone is. I want to take a picture of this. Okay. We'll pick up that round on the way back. We're going to stay here at 10 yards. Just shooting down the middle here. Yeah, so unfortunately, major feeding problems. since I switched to the ported barrel for whatever reason. I will. I'm just gonna finish off this mag. I'm gonna call it today on the XF Pro. Feeding problems. Very consistent feeding problems. I've probably have had since I switched to the ported barrel. Probably about 10 malfunctions. I'm just rough guessing. It was a lot. Using MagTech with the SMB. The funny thing is I haven't noticed it with the 147s. Actually, it's kind of weird. I don't know if I had any mags that were fully loaded with the 147s. Let me see. Yeah, so here's some 147s right here. So here, I wonder if, well, that shouldn't matter, but I just kind of weird how it's 147s are making it over the ramp. Let's see, these are 147s. Yeah, these are all 147s. That's the first mag I went through with these flat noses. So these flat noses are making its way over the ramp. XF Pro, since polishing the feed ramp.
All of a sudden,
we did get one failure to eject. Stay back right there. Stay back a little further, Will. Looks like we still got feeding problems. Back to the stock barrel.
sounds so doesn't any fun.
Go grab me another magazine, Will.
Hollow points.
Grab me another one. I don't want to use that one yet. Hurry up, grab me another one.
I didn't know you had hollow points.
I have hollow points. So, I I have my son here with me today.
I had no idea you had those in fact.
Yeah, I use them for defense. I've had issues with the ported barrel. Stand back a little bit, William. Doesn't seem like there's issues with the stock barrel. Fusion Firearms told me to polish it. I polished it. Maybe it's not polished enough. Let's see if I have any failures with the stock barrel. Grab me one more mag, Will. She's definitely on target, maybe a little low. Put that one back. I'm gonna run one more mag through it, guys, and I'm gonna take it back and I'm gonna review, do a first impression on this. Yeah, the stock barrel's flawless. All right. I sent it to Fusion, and if it was as simple as what they did, they could have just sent it to me. But they said that the recoil assembly needed to be lighter. So we have a lighter recoil assembly in here. They sent me the stock one back. It's in a bag. This is some Remington Plus ammo, RP, yeah. Not Plus, but just Remington ammo. And then I have some S&B and some more Remington in my pocket. So see if she runs with the new recoil assembly. I never had any issue with the stock barrel, with the stock recoil assembly. But when I dropped in this ported barrel, it was malfunction city. We're going to go for the, we'll just shoot for the top of the head here. We're just seeing if it just runs about 8 yards. Okay. And she's loud. Camera issues, guys. So I'm still on the second mag. Camera keeps shutting off. I don't know if there's something wrong with it. Let's do the second mag here with the XF Pro. Third magazine, S&B, I think this one is. This is where I was aiming. This is 3 magazines. Looks like one flyer here, a couple below in the neckline, one up here, and looks like the majority of them are right here. That was 3 magazines at 8 yards. She's accurate, and she definitely runs flat. was all the 147 grain. I think there was an empty casing sitting here. Maybe we had one failure to extract. It looked like we had one failure to extract. It was locked open. I think the casing was like just sitting here. I'll have to double check that. I'll watch the footage later. You see we're all right here. Alright, last test. Winchester Silvertip hollow points. I'm back at the house here, and I'm going to wrap up my first impression video after 500 rounds through the XF Pro from Fusion Firearms. Real quick here, I'm just going to go over the basic specs of the gun. We are empty, in case anyone is wondering. So, the XF Pro is a 9mm. It is also made from all bar stock materials, precision CNC machined. It has a 4-inch, this is the ported, let me see, it has a 4-inch Glock compatible barrel. This is a Gen 4 barrel is what they list on the website. And it's tender for finished. The gun has fixed sights, just blacked out, and they don't co-witness with the dot. They sit way too low, as you can tell. You won't see the front or the rear, so keep that in mind. If you do want to co-witness, you'll have to change out the sights on the firearm. Okay. It does have a steel trigger. Right here, there's your little safety right there too. It does have a lot of take up. I'll go over the trigger more in a minute, but it is made from steel. It's not a polymer trigger. It does have these grip panels. It says they're made from aluminum and poly construction. They can be changed, and they are supposed to have other grip panels. They're probably different textures. I know they already have different colors and stuff like that on their website. The frame itself is aluminum. You also have their tactical rail right here. It's hard coat finished is what they have listed. They have their slide pro serrations and window cuts. There's your window cuts. The serrations are here. They're okay. They look okay. I mean, they work, but not the most aggressive. But they seem to be all right. The recoil system's all metal, Glock Gen 4.5 compatible. So there's a piece of information for anyone that is in the Glocks, I guess. The total length of the gun is 7.29 inches. Also, they have listed that the gun is 26.5 ounces. I didn't weigh it before I changed it, but with the ported barrel, which will probably make it a little lighter, and the red dot on it, with an empty mag in it, I get 33.3 ounces. So in this configuration, 33.3 ounces. Obviously, if you have the barrel in and no red dot, you're going to get a slightly different number. So just keep that in mind. That kind of covers the basic specs on the XF Pro. Like I said earlier, you have your little serrations here. They're decent, and they already have the window cuts. So this barrel, you know, it's already this barrel is from Fusion Firearms, so you can purchase this on their website. They're not terribly expensive. Maybe for a Glock barrel, they're probably, I mean, even for a Glock barrel, I mean, they're not the cheapest, but I mean, for what you get and the performance, 100% worth it. I'll get more into that, but the gun will come like that, and you can pick up this barrel later on if you choose to. Like I said, sights do not co-witness. Bear that in mind. The trigger, I'll go over the trigger here real quick. It is a Glock style trigger. You have a lot of take up here. Okay, it's mushy. And then there's your brake. And there's your reset. So it's a sloppy long take up for the trigger. But look at that resets. So you have all this. It doesn't really have what I would, it doesn't really have a defined wall. Honestly, I mean, it's just, it tightens up a little bit, but there's no defined wall. It's kind of, you just kind of like, you know, you're gonna do like a more of like a rolling brake when you're shooting with this. But the reset though really makes up for it for those follow-up shots. See if I can drag it out real slow here for you. There you go. You have the click, so it's audible and tactile. You'll feel, just push your finger out just that little bit, and then just a smidge, a little bit back to re-get that brake. Trigger's about 4.5 pounds. So kind of normal for this platform, I would say. So you have a 4.5 pound trigger. That's what I got on my Lyman gauge. Also keep that in mind. Let's put that back up here for a second. It has a striker indicator here. I should have showed you that first before I put it down. So there it is. I don't really care for these, but it's a visual aid, I guess, for some people to care. When you're pulling the trigger, you can see it starts to back out, and then it'll drop once you brake. So that's there. I think like Canucks and stuff like that. I just don't care for it aesthetically, but it's probably a helpful feature, I would imagine. So talking about the gun, 500 rounds, probably 250 through the stock barrel and the ported barrel. Tons of different ammo. I bought like a sample pack. Had a bunch of different ammo I've been using. This gun has run, as far as regular 115 grain FMJ, it has run, I've ran Federal through it, MagTech, Fiocchi, S&B, Winchester. Those are probably the main ones. Maybe I'm forgetting one. I usually run Winchester silver tips. That's like a self-defense hollow point round. I also ran 147 grain MagTech subsonic flat nose, and the gun ran them all with the stock barrel. I had 0 malfunctions with the stock barrel. Okay, so keep that in mind when you buy this gun. Up to this point in the video, you'll have already seen some other footage with the ported barrel, but if you in the stock configuration, no malfunctions. When I switched to the ported barrel, I started to receive malfunctions with it when I swapped to the ported barrel. And originally I reached out to Fusion Firearms. They told me to try to polish the feed ramp. I mean, the feed ramp was kind of, you probably can't see it here. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that. But I polished up the feed ramp, and I took it back out. It didn't make any difference at all. It had nothing to do with the feed ramp being polished. They sent me a label, and I sent it to Fusion Firearms to check out. And I got it back in a week. Same as my XP, go figure. I sent out XP, got it back in a week. Sent out the XF Pro, got it back in a week. And all the paper basically said is it needed a lighter recoil assembly for it. So they basically put a lighter recoil assembly in the gun, and they gave me the stock one. It's actually behind me, actually, in a box right now. I'm not going to bother to grab it. So they sent me the one it came with. So when I'm running the ported barrel, I have to run the lighter recoil assembly, and it's actually a lot smoother too. It's a lot easier to rack, of course. It feels a lot nicer to just rack the gun. Once I put the lighter recoil assembly in, I ran a bunch of rounds through it, and it ran like a champ. There may have been one incident, you have already have seen it, where I got locked back on the last round, and when I kind of was talking, I tipped the gun back. It seemed like an empty shell casing fell out. I tried to slow that down a little bit. I couldn't really. I mean, if there's something, maybe I'll rewatch it. I'll post up some text right here at this moment if I figure anything else out. But there may have been one failure to extract completely, or maybe maybe it bounced off the optic and somehow it just kind of settled somewhere. I don't know. Outside of that, I didn't have any other malfunctions. Honestly, it seemed very reliable outside of that one incident. I mean, say the gun locked back on empty, and like you would have seen like a random shell just kind of like, it felt like it just kind of fell out whenever I tipped the gun back a little bit. I will say that when you do run the ported barrel, it's a significant difference. I would even go to far as say night and day, as far as just it really brings that recoil impulse down, if you ask me. The gun shoots a lot flatter, really nice to shoot. I mean, you can really get off rounds really fast with the ported barrel. When you're running the stock barrel, it shoots nice too. Definitely a lot more snappy. Not super snappy, but a lot more snappy comparatively to the ported barrel. So I would recommend the ported barrel. My only concern is, real quick before I get to that, also, which I'm sure all of you already know, when you run the ported barrel, she is loud, like really loud. So I don't know if I'd recommend shooting this indoors, running the ported barrel. You guys do whatever you want. But even outside, which is where I primarily shoot out in a short range bay, it was very loud, a lot louder. But then, it's up to you. I mean, different strokes for people, whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But just bear that in mind that if you take the ported barrel inside a range and there's a lot of people, I would imagine it might be slightly uncomfortably loud. But if people got their ears plugged up, I would still imagine it'd still be okay. But keep that in mind. And she's really loud, but the performance is excellent that you get out of this ported barrel. And like I said, I think they're like, don't quote me, but like 130 or something like that. It's worth every penny. I'm not even gonna lie. You got your four ports here, and you can see as they taper down here, they get a little smaller. I mean, they're nice. Oh, and you can see, actually, I shot it yesterday, and it was clean then. You can see, I don't know how well you can see, but it gets, obviously, has four ports in it. It's going to get real filthy. So, you have a little bit more cleaning maintenance. But I just wanted to touch on that. Like I said, back to the texture here. It's okay. That's kind of my peeve with some of the Fusion stuff, is that they're really mild in the texture departments. On the grip panels here, these here I think are a little better. This gun's not as smooth as the XP is. I would say a tad better. You can change these out, like I said. Hopefully they'll have more aggressive options in the future. And they have like a little bit of, like, I don't know what you want to call it, a little bit of checkering here and here, and honestly, it does almost nothing. Like this is, I mean, you can feel it, but it to me it's just kind of like more looks. It's super smooth. So I don't really think this does a whole lot. Excuse me, there's my dryer going off. So I just I wanted to mention that as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I might have overlooked. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Like I said, over 500 rounds. Stock barrel was flawless. Ported barrel needed to have a lighter recoil assembly installed, and it seems like it's significantly improved. There may have been one failure to eject. Not really sure what happened there. It was really weird. There may have been one malfunction. I'll try to retry to check the video again before I post this out, but I would deem it reliable so far. We'll see what happens though. Like if it happened once, it'll happen again. I plan on putting a lot more rounds through both barrels. I'm not just going to keep using the ported, even though it's a lot more fun to shoot the ported barrel just because of how smooth and nice it is to shoot, even with more spicy 147 grain and hollow points. It runs really well. So if there's something maybe I overlooked or you guys have any questions, again, this is probably going to be another long video. Hopefully some of you enjoy the content. I'm trying to be informative to help anyone maybe potentially make a purchase, or someone who's just interested in a certain product. But like I said, if you have any questions, just post them up in the comment section. I'll get back to them ASAP. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, and have a good day.